All right, hey, my name is Jerome Lewis, and today I'm going to show you how you can get a book done in less than 4 hours. You have to bear with me because I got to get this down to 30 minutes instead of a 4 hour process. So there's some stuff that I'm going to have to leave out in detail. Before we get started, I want to show you like I published a book, I think last year, became a number one bestselling author. This is the book. This is my niche. I help real estate entrepreneurs, real estate agents, real estate investors with their marketing, their tech, their lead generation, and their media buying. And I have another book here, uh, The Ultimate Real Estate Marketing Asset. And the purpose of this training, what we're going to learn about today is um, the ultimate marketing asset. I call the ultimate marketing asset a book, right? Because you can do so many things with a book. You can follow up, you can use it as marketing material, etc., etc. So, with that being said, I want to switch over to our presentation, and I'm going to go into detail on how you can write your book fast. And I want you to be able to get this done in 4 hours or less. Um, it is a right now it's only 30 minutes. I'm trying to get this thing down to 30 minutes, but this is like probably a 4 hour process in total. Either way, once you go through this process, you have a marketing asset for the rest of your life that you can use to market yourself. You also have the process. You can apply this to other industries, other fields. You can offer this to your customers, clients, etc. So let's get started. The ultimate marketing asset: 7 reasons to write slash publish a book. Why using a book can improve your marketing and how to do it fast, 4 hours or less. All right, so let me tell you a quick story. A real estate investor association, because that's who I work with, they hired me for their tech, and they were struggling with marketing. So they eventually asked me to help with marketing because naturally it's like, oh, this guy is a millennial. He knows computers, marketing, and technology is the same thing. It wasn't, right? Uh, in working with them, I did an analysis, and they were working with a marketing company already. That marketing company charged them $5 per month, and they had $0 to show for it. So they didn't have any response. They weren't paying for direct marketing like we know and like what we do. There was no return on their money. They didn't want to pay me for marketing because they were scarred by that marketing company. They wanted me to do everything for free or do some kind of trial run, and I simply don't do that. I just said no. I wanted to find out how I could help people with budgets of $0 or people that are afraid or to invest in marketing. I read, I forget, but I purchased Russell Brunson's book a long time ago. I can't remember which it was, but I decided to read it, and I kept hearing him mention Dan Kennedy, Dan Kennedy, Dan Kennedy. So I was like, okay, Dan Kennedy must know some stuff, and I went to find Dan Kennedy. I found a book from Dan Kennedy called the the book from Dan Kennedy was The Ultimate Marketing Machine, I believe. And I read that book, and I immediately signed up for his he had a boot camp at the end of his book. He said go sign up for the boot camp, and then at the end of the boot camp there was a workshop, and after when at the end of that workshop there was a coaching program. So naturally I ascended all the way up his ladder through this book, and this is part of the reason why you want to have a book in your strategy as well. All right, so big picture strategy. These are just some of the things that we're going to cover: why books matter, free services, why people like us that are providing free services should offer a book. We're going to talk about how we can educate our interested leads, everlasting lead generation. I already talked about that, the ultimate marketing asset, having a book and how it puts you on the world's largest search engine platform. Books are great gifts, they're potent remarketing and uh, follow up tools. Customers fund your paid advertising, right? Because you have something they can pay for. As we're going to talk about reinvesting, right? A lot of times people, the purpose is not to get rich off of the book. The purpose is to get you leads, and your leads cover. Um, it's like self-sustainable. I'm going to show you how you can do this. I'm going to show you how you can do this fast in less than 4 hours. I'm going to show you how you can finish your manuscript fast. I'm going to show you how you can expand your manuscript fast. I'm going to give you like a roadmap, like what you should do start to finish to get your book done fast. And I'm going to show you, this is what I'm most excited about. I usually teach people how to do this using their video content, but we're going to use AI today. I'm going to give you some prompts, some very basic prompts. They're not going to be amazing. They're going to be basic. And the point is, you take these prompts, you take the idea and the concepts of those prompts, and you go out and you get your book done. Lastly, I'm going to have to reiterate, a book is just a lead magnet to build your list. I don't want you to become a best-selling author, or I do, right? That's a bonus, but this is just a lead magnet. It doesn't have to be perfect, and we're going to talk about that. This was a stat that I picked up from a book I was reading. I have at the end of the slide presentation some resources, but only 1% of the population publish books. The worst way to make money with your book is by selling it. We're going to give that thing away. We're going to sell it through our website. It's going to be a lead magnet, right? We're not trying to become J.K. Rowling or anything like that. The best customers are book readers. Like I started off, I told you, like I ascended up Dan Kennedy's ladder pretty fast because I read his book. So you will have customers doing the same for you once you have a book. People that are willing to read books are smarter, more invested, and less difficult. All right. So right now, if you don't have a book, you're currently a salesperson. You're trying to sell people on your services, and people like to buy, but they don't like to be sold. A book will position you as an expert. So you can do that takeaway thing. Like, why should I work with you? You can help people understand that you're an expert and they need to get on your program to work with you, right? A book helps you become that expert versus a salesperson. All right. So books are great gifts, right? This, like, people don't just give away like your marketing material. So even you, like, it's a little bit hard to give away your marketing material. Books are great gifts, and you can take books and you can give them away. That's one of the reasons why I love books. When I bring people into my agency and my businesses, my courses, my services, I always say, send me your address so I can send you a free book. And they give me everything. They give me all of their information because I'm telling them I'm going to send them a free book. Right? So they're great gifts. People appreciate them. Others will give them as gifts, right? So there are many things that you can do. You can have other people give them as gifts. I have another mastermind. I was talking to. I have a hypnotherapist, and she works with a doctor, and that doctor has some of her books in the office. And I say, and he gives them away, and it's another way for her to market, and it's a way for him to supplement his business and make his customers and his people feel welcome. So books are great gifts. Next, I was on Liana's podcast, her podcast network, and she brought it up. We were talking about this topic, and we said, I was like, you know why I really like books? Because people rarely throw books away. People rarely throw books away, and it's kind of it's kind of looked down upon in the world when you throw books away. So I always like to bring up, like, back in the day, way before we were born, right? They used to burn books. And it was like a crime to burn books. It was a really big deal. So people rarely throw books away. If anything, they'll donate the book. They hardly ever throw them away. All right. The other some more benefits of books. Books are, if somebody purchases your book or they say yes, I want your book, they have raised their hand and they've shown interest in your services, right? So it's going to be important that you come up with the right hook and the right title for your book, right? The right headlines. But when you have that and you start showcasing your book, you start offering it to people, they're going to say yes, and that means they're interested. So they're legitimately interested in your services instead of you chasing them. Now they're coming to you and saying, hey, I want to do business, or hey, I have some kind of interest in what it is that you're doing, your book, your product, your service. You can train customers and prospects through your book. You can train them. So this means if you have a unique process or you just have a certain way you like to work people, you can work with people. You can instruct them directly how to work with you in the book, right? Um, as an example, most people think, oh my God, they're not going to read the book. Why should I do a book? People are overwhelmed. You can use the book as different. It's not just a book that people read. It can be training material. It can be used for so many things. So one of the things I like to, like, let's imagine you have a 5-step process, or you put that 5-step process in your book. You send that out to the customer or prospect and you have them read through that 5-step process. Maybe they'll read it from start to finish, or maybe you say, before we have the call, read chapter 1, right? On day 2, you read chapter 2. On day 3, you read chapter 3. On day 4, you read chapter 4. On day 5, you read chapter 5. And you have trained them on how to work with you, right? So the book can train your customers and your prospects. You train them specifically. Well, you know what? On page 74, this is exactly how we do this, and this is how you should come to the call prepared. So a book can be used as training material as well. Next, books stay around forever. I already talked about this. People don't throw them away, they donate them. And the cool thing is, like, your book, it's a marketing item, it's a marketing asset if you use it correctly, and it will have all your call to actions within it. All your call to actions within your book. It will be there. despite anybody donating it, or it will always be around. Versus other marketing material, people typically throw them away or they expire. All right, so having a book puts you on the world's largest paid search engine platform. So Google is number one. This might be changing because I keep hearing people say TikTok, but Google is number one. YouTube is number two. However, those are free services, right? When you go to YouTube, when you go to Google, you're typically not searching for where you're not shopping typically. With Amazon, right? You get your book, you publish it on Amazon. It is a paid search engine. So people are actively searching to buy something on Amazon. And we know buyers are different than freebie seekers. They're different than freebie seekers. So you have that benefit. It puts you on a largest search engine platform, the paid search engine platform. People that are looking on Amazon are buyers, right? You don't go to Amazon for free information typically, right? You go there to buy something. So you have a different mentality, right? You're going to put something in your cart. Maybe you look at some reviews, but typically anybody that goes to Amazon, they're looking to buy. You're searching for stuff, you're looking to buy. Customers go on how to generate leads in real estate. My book will come up. They're looking to buy that book, put it in their cart. All right, books are a great starting point for your marketing. So you can send these books out to people. You can send them to people. Um, but it's just a starting point, right? Sometimes people go, oh, what if they don't read the book? That's okay. The book is just a lead magnet, right? The book is just a lead magnet for you to collect their information. You can always follow up with them. You can always follow up with them. So now that you have all of their information, you got their name, their phone number, their email address, their physical address. Guess what you can do? You sent them the book, right? They got the book, okay, but they didn't read it. Guess what you can do? You can send them follow up sequencing and follow up emails, right? Direct mail or offline mail, online mail, whatever. And you can tell them, read the book. Hey, did you see in chapter one where I talked about this thing? Go read it ASAP. Go read it ASAP. And you can continue to encourage them to read the book, or maybe not. Maybe they won't read the book, right? But you still have their contact information. You can follow up with them and offer them other things. Okay, I sent you a book. You might not be ready to read it, but here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm offering free consultations for the next 48 hours. That's an example. So the book is just it's just a lead magnet. Some people, probably 99% of people, may not read it, or some of them may. Like the purpose, the point is, you don't absolutely need them to read the book. The book is a lead magnet. It can be used for several other things other than just reading the book. So, as stated, you can constantly follow up. One of my favorite things to do to follow up, um, I just want to shout out Raul because he mentioned I think it was Raul. He has a sales letter, a newsletter that he sends out monthly, right? So what I like to do is I like to take the book, get their contact information, and then I like to put them on a recurring follow-up of a newsletter. I like to send a physical newsletter, but you can do it digital as well. A physical newsletter, and what you do with that physical newsletter, let me show you. I have an example with me. So back here, I have some newsletters, right? I've collected their information and now I can follow up with them. And I have newsletters, and it's very strategic. I got this from Dan Kennedy. It's very strategic about this newsletter, right? So I'm going to send a newsletter and it's in an envelope. This envelope contains the newsletter, but what can we do? Because we put it in an envelope and it's about two to $3 to follow up. We can put more things in here. We can put more things in here. So I can put sales material in here. I can put business cards in here, coupons, vouchers. I can put a lot of stuff in here because I have their information and I have them on that automatic follow up. So every month they get some marketing material from me disguised as a newsletter, right? It's going to be information. It's going to have some stuff in here, but I can constantly follow up with them. So that's a high level strategy for you to use so you can follow up with your customers and prospects. All right. Next, the cool thing about a book is people know what they're getting into when they buy a book. They know what they're getting into. Typically, they don't have any regrets when they buy a book. They might, you know what? I lost $20. I lost $10. I lost $5. Like you don't expect a lot of refunds on a book. People know it's a book. They pay for it, and they usually. I learned this from Mike Shreve of Peaceful Profits, which I was referred to by Liana and the Ad Skills community. Upsell, downsell, or cross sell. Most of us here know what that is. So they come in your funnel and you can offer them other things. One of the things that I like to talk about, that which I learned from Justin, is if somebody's buying a book, they're typically a person that is a self-educator. So a nice upsell could be a course, right? So you can upsell them, downsell them, cross sell them, offer them a free consultation. You can sell them another book. You can sell them audiobook or audiobook bundle, some videos coupled with it. You can offer them rush shipping and handling. You can offer them a webinar, right? And you price this stuff accordingly. You can offer them a course or mini course. So this is what I was talking about when I mentioned Justin. Justin mentioned that people that are buying books, they're self-educators and they wouldn't mind purchasing a course. So this is something else that you can offer them. And again, you're not supposed to get rich here. The purpose is to cover your advertising costs. It's to cover your advertising costs. Next, consultation or sales call, right? Or meeting. This is something that you can offer them. Us as media buyers, we pop in here, um, we offer them the book, and then we offer them consultation. Hey, I'll do a free audit for you, or I'll do a discounted audit for you. These are things that you can offer once they come into your funnel, they purchase your book, right? So the book is just a tool for you to do more stuff. Next, you put the money back into your advertising. So don't get rich. It's a lead magnet. You're not expected to get rich. It's a lead magnet for you to put more money back into your advertising. So as an example, let's just say you're selling your book for $10 a day. As long as you make one sale per day, you have a you have an unlimited marketing budget of $10. You break even. You break even. And you got traffic running to your website, your offer, or whatever, because you're breaking even on that book at just $10 a day. Or Justin's training, he talks about the a $5 a day ad budget. So put the money back into your advertising, and you get those leads. You get leads coming to you. These are leads that you're now attracting because you have traffic running to your website or your offer. Your objective with the book is to create a marketing budget. All right, this sounds great, Jerome, but I doubt I can do this. I'm going to show you exactly how to do this using AI, like artificial intelligence. And I just want you to get the idea. This is a framework. This is not, you don't have to do it exactly this way. You take the ideas, you take the concepts, and you apply it, right? You get the book done fast. The purpose is to get it done fast. It's not to be perfect. It's not to be like everybody else. It's to get it done fast. You can customize it along the way. So, normally when I'm teaching this, I'm teaching people how to do it through video, right? Before I used to use videos. I used to take my videos, talk about them, do a presentation, and I would have them transcribed. I have them transcribed. We're not going to do that here, right? We're going to go straight into writing the book using artificial intelligence. So, can you copy and paste? Can you drag and drop? Can you type commands into a computer interface? Right. And that computer interface that I'm talking about, we're going to be going more specifically to ChatGPT. But if you can do these things, these last three, copy and paste, drag and drop, type commands into a computer interface, you can write a book fast and you can write it in less than 4 hours. So here's how you prepare. What you're going to do is you do need to do some work. You got to think about it. Okay, what am I going to talk about? What's my expertise, right? So come ready with your ideas about your niche or the topic slash subject that you're trying to talk about. Common questions is my favorite. What are the common questions that you're receiving? What are the common questions about your industry, your field, your expertise? Address those questions in your book. Typically, I like to start with five, and those five questions are a chapter each. They're a chapter each. Next, if you need to expand, you do some sub chapters, you do sub questions, questions within the questions that we mentioned, right? Next, these are other things to do. So we want to encourage people to take action. So what I like to call is I have a read this first section that I put in the top of my book, and it's essentially is a sales letter, right? Hey, do this specific thing. Hey, go visit this website, or hey, schedule a consultation with me. If hey, go get this free lead magnet from this place. So I have a read this first section as well. Testimonials. This is another way to add to your book. What are people saying about you? What are people saying about you and offering you? You add testimonials into your book. Forward. This is another way to add to your book. right? This is another way to add to your book. Introduction. Tell them what you're going to talk about. So if we go all the way back up, we got the core right here, the core, the 5 chapters that we're going to address. And these are other ways to increase the perceived value of your book. It's just a way to increase the perceived value of your book. Your book doesn't have to be long, doesn't have to be short. It's dependent upon what you want to do. A preface, a preface, whatever. Different people call it different things. That's something else you can add to your book. Also, you can add a conclusion, and then you can add a what's next / call to actions. These are different things you can add to your book. And each of these things can be a chapter or a paragraph. It's up to you. So these are some book writing prompts. We're going to take these prompts and we're going to write a book, right? I'm going to, let's see, we're 20 minutes in. I should be able to get something done in less than 5 minutes for you. Less than 5 minutes. So you can see you're going to take the concept and an idea and you're going to apply it several times. And then you'll have a manuscript for your book. Okay. So what are 5 common questions about your niche and market? Turn these questions into persuasive headlines. Write me a sales letter, include the call to action. These are specific commands that I do. So demo time. It's time for us to do the demo, and I'm going to use ChatGPT to do this. So let's escape here. Let's go full screen on ChatGPT. And I come right in and I instructed ChatGPT, help me write an easy to understand book. If you understand this request, please confirm. So I'm gonna go back over to my slides and I'll go to these prompts. I'm gonna tell it you're an expert on this. I'm gonna copy this as well, and this. And this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell it what to do. So you're an expert about, my niche is real estate. Okay. You will write me a book. I'm going to put my niche in here. Okay. So you're an expert about selling houses. You will help me. You write a book about selling real estate. Please confirm that you understand. Learned that from Justin. It should confirm that it understands. Okay. All right. Let's redo this and imagine you are an expert about selling houses. And now let's see what it says. Here we go. So write me 5 questions about this topic. Okay. So it's writing me out 5 questions. This is my expertise, right? 5 questions is going to do that. So that's 5 chapters for me in a way, essentially, right? Now I'm going to tell it, turn those chapters into persuasive headlines. Okay, so now I have headlines. I'm getting some attractive headlines for my book, right? Attractive titles. You can make yours short or long. This is how I do mine because I like to leverage it. I like to take what I'm learning and apply it to online and other marketing. All right, so write me a chapter about the first. Write me a chapter about unlock the secrets. So I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna paste that there, and I will tell it. I'll just get it written. Okay. Here's a sample chapter. And you're like, what's happening here? You're going to apply this several times over. You're going to apply this to each chapter. You're going to apply this to each chapter. And you should have your book. You should have your book done once you have it. Too. It's giving me a few things. It's publishing. It's publishing. We got 4 minutes left. So I'm going to do this with one chapter. I want to be able to take this over to Google Docs and show you how you can like start to get your manuscript done pretty fast. Hopefully I can do that in 5 minutes. Okay, so it's written me an entire chapter in conclusion, it's written me an entire chapter right there, right? So you see that chapter. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy this, and the like you would learn more of this formatting in a workshop, but I'm going to try to get you the idea and the concept down. So docs.com, I'm going to do a new doc, and let's see, can I do a new document? Let's do a new document. Let's do new. So I'm going to do a new document. And once I have my new document, this is where the formatting matters. So you come in here, this is like normal. The normal Google Doc is like 8.5 by 11. But where the magic happens is like you don't need to know a lot. The magic happens when I go File, I go Page Setup, and I change let's bring up my highlighter. And I change the paper size. We're going to take the paper size down to statement 8.5 by 5.5 by 8.5. We're going to have the margins at 1 inch. We're going to squeeze that thing down. And now it's like in a book format, right? You're gonna make a title page, right? That's my title. And the formatting, this is where the magic happens. You're gonna want to play with this formatting like this. So I'm gonna apply title to my format. That's gonna be the title. I want my title centered, and then I'm gonna title. That's my title. I'm gonna do a new page, which is Control Enter, and then my text that I copied from the ChatGPT over here. I'm gonna take this text and then I'm just gonna paste it. Just gonna paste this text. You see that? Title. Then I got my chapter 1. I'm going to update this using this bar up here. So let's scroll down. I'm going to turn that to a heading 1. Apply heading 1. And over here, right, this view, you can see chapters start to formulate. Unlock the secrets to pricing property for maximum profit. Make sure you proofread and spell check everything here, right? But you can see this just based off what I put in ChatGPT. I have about 5 pages of a book already, right? So then it's just a matter of formatting. So I'm going to go back over to ChatGPT, and then I'm going to tell it the same command, and I want to tell it write me a chapter on your point. So write me a chapter about. Delete this, and I'm going to put my point here, and write me a chapter about that. Sure, here's a sample chapter. So it's write me a chapter, and while it's writing that, I'm going to show you my chapter 2 would be this. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to come here. This is the formatting. This is where the magic happens. It's there, and I'm going to highlight that, and I want to turn it to a heading 1. The shortcut is, let's just do this. Let's just shortcuts. Sorry. And my text will be heading 1. So I'm going to apply it, and then you can see my chapter 2 here. Let's see if that finished. It's not finished just yet. Okay, it's almost finished. So in conclusion, blah, blah, blah. It's giving me everything there. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to take it over to here, and I'm just going to paste my text plain, right? Paste without formatting. Something that I'm doing here is I'm making the format bigger than normal. 14 point, right? We're not trying to be like amazing experts. We're just trying to get this lead magnet done and published so we can send out our book, right? So I'm using 14-point format, and I have 2 chapters of a book already. It's just a matter of you creating your book. So we still need, right? That's the basis of how to get the book, the manuscript done. You're just going to repeat that same process over and over again. You're going to apply this process with some of the stuff that we talked about in the slideshow. All right. So now we did that demo. Some key points I want you to keep in mind. I want you to set expectations. And what I mean by that is let people know what they're getting into inside of your book. Tell them, I wrote this book just to be quick and informative, right? I respect your time. This is one of the things I like to do. I respect your time, and I didn't want to write a long book. I didn't want to like write a long book because I know how valuable your time is. So I couldn't tell you everything. If you want to learn even more and you're serious about hiring me as a me buyer, hiring me as a marketing person, do specific things such as visit my website, give me a call, schedule a consultation. Your book doesn't need to be long. Your book doesn't need to be short. Your book does not need to be perfect, right? So when I was talking a little bit earlier, I showed you my first book, and my book was I became a number one best-selling author with a ton of typos and a ton of errors in my book because I went out and I got it done. It wasn't perfect, but it was done, and I had something I could show, put on Amazon, and show to the world, and it became a number one bestseller with the mistakes. So your book doesn't need to be perfect. Another thing that I like to do is I like to include a personal letter to a customer or prospect, a personal letter to you. I just want to thank you. I want to let you know how this book is going to work. These are ways that you can use the book, right? Remember, the book is just a lead magnet to build your list. Something else, right? For the people that are scared about grammar, I included in my book, right? I included a letter to the grammar police. There are people that are obsessed with my grammar. My point was not to be perfect in this book. My point was to deliver the information as much as possible. And if I sit around worrying about all of the typos in grammar, I wouldn't be able to get this product out to you. So I wrote a letter inside of my book, a letter to the grammar police. I include a sales letter with my book, right? If you are frustrated, if you don't understand what's working in your media buying platform or how to run advertising, go to my website and schedule a consultation. That's an example. If you don't understand exactly how it is to buy a house or you're overwhelmed or something like that, to sell a house, schedule a consultation with me. These are things that you can do. You can include these call to actions within your book, right? It's a nonfiction book. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It's just a lead magnet. Follow up with your leads, right? They may not read the book. They're going to buy the book. They might appreciate the book, but that's not the point. The point is to follow up, right? So now you have their contact information because they purchased a book. Go follow up with them, send them sales letters, emails, promotional material. Do different things so you can follow up with them. Hey, did you read my book? Hey, I have this offer going. There are different things that you can do. Encourage them to read the book is another thing, right? Maybe they won't read it. Maybe you need them to read it. So your follow up can be encouraging them to read the book or encouraging them to read a particular chapter or encouraging them to understand a particular concept. Next, couple the book with videos. So we did those 5 chapters that you saw. We can take those 5 chapters and we can expand on those with a video as a companion guide. Maybe the book is just sitting on the thing and they want to watch video. Different people learn in different ways. They might just want to watch the video. They might just want to watch the video. Next, always be talking about your book on social media. Have it up, right? You see me, if you see my background, if you ever see me speaking, it's up in the background. People say, hey, what is that book? I'm interested in that. And I say, oh, that's my book. I published my book. You want to learn more? Just go to my website. Or if I have the right relationship, I'll send you a free copy. Right? Always be talking about your book. So you might have a particular chapter about media buying with Google Ads. And you can say, according to my book on media buying with Google Ads, you can do this, or you can learn this. Or you can say, inside my book, I talk about this, but I'm just going to keep it short on this video. I was thinking about Liana, and she talks about video. She talks about video, so she can look, according to my book, you can learn this about video. I'm going to keep things short because I have a book. If you want to learn more about that, you can go buy the book. Always be talking about your book, right? Referring back to that book. Hey, I'm going to do a presentation on real estate marketing. That's me. Because, and if you're interested, you can go buy the book. If you're interested, before I go into that, you can go buy the book. Always be talking about and referring to your book. Make sure you include call to actions. Call to actions. Schedule a consultation. Go buy another product. Go do a particular thing, join a Facebook group, include call to actions inside of your book. Include several. At the bare minimum, one at the end and one at the beginning. That's probably the bare minimum because remember the purpose of the book is a lead magnet, is to get them and encourage them to do specific things. So include call to actions in your book. All right, so final conclusions, final thoughts, so we can wrap this up. We are 34 minutes. Get your book published to Amazon KDP. That's what I recommend. There are different companies and different sites, but I highly recommend you get it published to Amazon. We talked about that a little bit earlier. You can do the other stuff, but get it published to Amazon. Probably number one. It's probably going to be the easiest, the most familiar. You can send people to Amazon to get your link. Um, like physical fulfillment, like actually shipping and stuff, that requires more detail. But get your book published to Amazon KDP as soon as possible. Books are great marketing tools and assets. They help you stand out as an expert instead of a salesperson. Use your book online as well as offline. Use them to provide more value than other salespeople. So here are the next steps. Go publish your book on Amazon and use it as lead generation. Next, tap into AskSkills membership for more detailed training. Justin had a training where he talked about why every business needs a book, which I'll talk about on the next slide. If you want to get in contact with me, just reach out to me on the Slack group, or that's my email address there, Jerome at digitalrealestatestrategy.com. And I should have one more for you, resources. So let's unskip this. These are some resources that I have for you. This is where I learned these concepts from here, right? So, and why every business needs a book by Justin. Insider Secrets to Writing a Lead Generation Book in 7 Days by Darcy Warraz, who's a coach with Magnetic Marketing of Dan Kennedy's company. Book to Business is a book by Dan Kennedy and Adam Whitty. Mike Sharif from Peaceful Profits, he has the One Book Millions method, which AskSkills encouraged me to go purchase since I have a book funnel and I'm selling books. Next, Dan Kennedy, Darcy Warraz, just want to shout them out. They are major mentors for me, and I would not have a book if it was not for them encouraging me, right? I talked about it for years. I'm going to publish a book, and I had a lot of content out because I teach around some certain things, and I took the concepts and the things that I'm constantly teaching, and I just put it in the book format. That's all I did. Next, I would like to, I just want to credit like Russell Brunson and Jim Edwards. They talked about this stuff a lot. I would not have discovered Dan Kennedy without Russell Brunson. And again, I already mentioned Mike Sharif, but uh, Peaceful Profits is an excellent, excellent, excellent course for you to understand in more detail why you as a service provider should use and have a book. So, my name is Jerome Lewis. I appreciate you watching. And if you want to contact me, just reach out.